Nigga, when I tell you this is the most insane update Marvel Rivals has ever done. So Marvel Rivals just showed off what we can expect in the newest update for season 9. It's basically an entirely new game. This is not the Marvel Rivals that we've been playing for the last year now, and everything that we kind of know about it, most of it is getting flipped on its head. I'm gonna just go ahead and start off with what I think is the biggest thing that they changing. The fact that 80% of the roster is seeing some changes, whether it's buffs or nerfs and things of that nature, just to basically balance the game out so that it's no longer like this broken mess. Now, what is it gonna look like when it actually drops? I do not know, but that's insane already. 80% of the roster already being touched around. Oh boy. And then I was like, okay, cool, that's nice to hear. I thought they was gonna stop there. No, they decided to take it a step further. They said to also help with that, we're changing the way that the team ups work entirely. So the original team up system that you guys are used to, scrap it. It's no longer a thing. They dropped that old system and included this new one. You have Hulk and Captain America. Now, Hulk is going to get that Captain America team up, from my understanding, whether he's on the field or not. And then if you also do decide to bring in Captain America, it enhances that team up even more. Now, from my initial thoughts, I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. That's unique. I don't know how that's going to work. And how is it going to work with bans? Still got to wait and see how that's going to work. Because if you ban somebody, I would only imagine the team ups don't work at all. But y'all, when I tell you it still gets crazier than that, it gets crazier than that, bro. Damn near everybody, from your duelists to your strategists and even your vanguards, every single one of them has all types of new team ups. And they even brought back some of the old ones, and they talking about fan favorites, the things that they seen the most enjoyment came from. Now, I just want to know which one of you niggas had the most fun with the Hela Namor team up, okay? They bringing that back and they revamped it. Not only is they bringing that team up back into the game, they made it to where when Hela uses her ultimate and she's just throwing her shots and it's missing, right? You might think that's a bad Hela on the team. We ain't getting no value. Yes, you are. Because as long as she's out there with that damn Namor team up, even if she don't hit nobody, it spawns the damn squids. Who wanted that? It's in the game though. There were some nice teammates that I seen where it's like, where some of the characters that's playing as a DPS, as long as they use their team up ability, it'll kind of self-heal them, but also heal the team if they use the abilities right and actually aim in that teammate's direction. So that is kind of nice. And I guess my example would be more so like Hawkeye. Hawkeye, if he does a team up with Cloak and Dagger, he's going to be able to swing his sword around. And if they're on the field with him, he's going to be able to do it multiple times. It'll do damage to enemies, but it'll also pass through the allies to heal them and then damage the enemy. So there are a lot of nice team ups in that regard. Venom has some nice ones where he was teaming up with Phoenix. That looked cool. We got the team ups with Gambit and Mag, Gambit and Rogue. I mean, the list goes on and on, y'all. It's so many team ups, and the reason I'm so excited about it is because a lot of these team ups make a lot of characters that might not have had too much value on the team have a lot more value now, and it just is going to add more ways of playing the game. It's going to kind of add to more strategies and more thought out team synergies and stuff like that. So it's a lot to kind of take into account for now because of those team ups being in the game. And again, from my understanding, even if those certain characters are not on the field of play, you still get that team up at a half value version of it. You know what I mean? Like, you getting the great value version of it instead of the full blown effects of it. So it is still nice in that regard, if you ask me. Are all the team ups desired and wanted? I don't think so, but they are going to be in the game in this new season. The next thing that the devs revealed was they are introducing a mechanic that's been in other games like Overwatch, where if you are not taking damage for 5 seconds, you are going to regain your health. It's almost like an overshield kind of mechanic without it being an overshield, if that makes sense. Again, just to show you guys, look at here on screen, it's like this green bar of health that you'll get. So 5 seconds go by, and let's say you took half the damage of your health, then you should regain all your health in that. But it's not gonna always just fully charge all your health all the way up. There are percentages that Guan talked about, and it's got things like that that you can account for. But the main point that I took from it is, if I get me some cover for 5 seconds, and let's just say that the supports got dove and they're dead, now I get to at least kind of give myself a fighting chance, because now I get out of the fight. I don't necessarily need to find a health pack, but it also does help me give myself a little bit more breathing room to find that health pack and get right back into the mix and action and everything like that. So honestly, I get it. Some people are not going to be fans of that. Me personally, I kind of enjoy that. I'm not against that. I think it's a cool little feature. And again, it's not like you're always going to get full-blown health back. It does make it a little more challenging for people to actually get kills, but I think it's a nice quality of life change. Now look, I didn't keep y'all waiting long enough, but they did show off the newest characters, Jubilee, Apocalypse, and the Hood. Now everybody knew we was probably getting Jubilee, right? And she do look good, I ain't gonna lie. Her character design, chef's kiss. And yes, she is a strategist of the game. Now, Apocalypse, who looks like he might be a Vanguard, is dead in this portion of the game because of the Hood. The Hood took him out. And y'all see, even in the game and in the clips, they show off some team ups for the Hood. So it's obvious that we're getting Jubilee first, then the Hood, and maybe in the next season, we will get Apocalypse, who will more than likely be the Vanguard of the game. So even though I know they tried to quote unquote kill him off, I think at some point they are going to include Apocalypse into the game, and he's going to be our next Vanguard. But from the looks of it, it looks like the Hood is going to be the next DPS after we get Jubilee in season 9. And then in 9.5, it looks like we'll get a new DPS, which is the Hood. I'm gonna be real, I wasn't expecting to see 3 different heroes or villains. I think that's fire. Jubilee looks incredible. Her play style, she's more of a DPS type of support. So first and foremost, I love that, especially since I always get pushed over to support or the Vanguard role. Go ahead, I'll play DPS support, you know what I'm saying? But even in her efforts of playing a DPS support, it looks like that's still gonna benefit her and the team to where they're gonna get an area of effect heal, kind of like how Cloak and Dagger does a little bit with her daggers. Even if she hits an enemy with her daggers, she's still healing the team as long as they're close enough to that enemy. So it's nice to see that Jubilee is gonna be kind of a Swiss Army knife, if that makes sense. Her ultimate looks insane. Oh my, y'all, when I tell you, she looks like a busted-ish kind of character. And I say ish because you just never know. You got to wait until you get into the game. But it looks like she's got enough abilities to self-sustain herself. She looks like she is going to need a little bit of support from her other support on the team. Not like she can be a solo heal, because I mean, as you guys can see in some of these clips, Mag and the other characters that are around him are dying kind of fast. And if the devs didn't have the bots stop attacking them, it looks like they would die because they're only relying on Jubilee's hit. But a mixture of Jubilee and whoever else you have in there as support, I can see that really kind of going off and going crazy. Or if you do the triple support situation, you can use Jubilee kind of like how people were using Gambit at first, which is Gambit is there to also heal, but you're really using him as like a DPS kind of support character, and then you're using healing as the back play. Again, with the 3 support play, I'm not out there suggesting y'all only play Jubilee and there's only one other healer and you just leaving them to do all the healing. I ain't saying all that. The last 2 things that I want to tell y'all about is, 1, they reworking Widow. Now at first I was like, this ain't good. All I'm seeing is Widow is getting ready to be in the meta and getting ready to be a problem. Now they showed us this change to Widow before we got to see all the team ups, and I changed my mind a little bit, but still, these are how her changes work, y'all. Widow no longer has the ADS scope on just like her regular kit. That's actually been switched over to her ultimate. So instead, now she gets to kind of slightly rapid fire her regular gun. She still has her movement and everything like that, except now when you jump into the air and you use your grappling hook to come down and get closer to an enemy, she's gonna do like this ground slam that has an area of effect. Not a big one, but enough where you can kind of get into a combo where you kick and then shoot or whatever the case may be. So there is that. Now, where her plasma burst used to be her ultimate, now that has gotten switched over to being a just regular ability where she shoots, and it's not as big of an effect as it was before, but it still has the same kind of concept to it where it hits an enemy, slows them if they're caught in the area and stuff like that, does a small amount of damage, but it's more so used for the slow. And then with her ultimate, like I said earlier, she now goes down through the ADS and she hits enemies and it does good amount of damage. Now they did say she's not a one-shot character, and they do not want her to be that. It's a 2-tap, even if you get a headshot. But if niggas is lined up, which you shouldn't be, but just in the random occasion they is, she can burst through niggas. Her single shot can go through multiple enemies, and again, now everybody is just one shot after getting hit by that damn stupid ass sniper. She gonna be in the meta. I got a good feeling she's going to be in the meta. Is it broken? Not necessarily, no. but it is something that's going to make Widow more playable. And honestly, she was probably the least viable character in the game. Don't get me wrong. It's not that I haven't seen some Widows get out there and do some work, but she really wasn't all that great, to be real. So now this is their way of trying to balance her into the meta, if that makes sense. And then lastly, they briefly talked about the map and then started to show the new battle pass skins, which I'm always here for the drip. I mean, they showed off a lot of different skins and just showing how they gonna look in characters, how they gonna change they sounds and their abilities, looks and stuff. Y'all know the gist, the regular stuff. But it did look real good for this season 9 battle pass, so I'm always excited for that. You got to look clean while you on the battlefield, bro. I mean, you look good, feel good, you play good, right? You know, I mean, that's how I feel. So shit. Woo! And that's everything that the devs talked about in their new season 9 update that's getting ready to go live. It was a lot of information, y'all, and I didn't even go over every single new team up that they had in there because obviously it was a lot. If I'm not mistaken, that segment alone in the stream was probably about 30 minutes. And I didn't want to just go ahead and show every single one of them, but you guys can definitely head over there and watch it. I just wanted to at least talk to you and show you some of the team ups. With that, how y'all feel about it, man? Are you excited about it? Did any of these changes get you excited for the new season arrivals, or did it kind of push you away and have you thinking I'm not even touching it? I'm gonna be honest with you, when I first watched it, the first half, I said I don't know, I might not even come back to Rivals because this looking like a dead mission. And then I kept giving it a chance and kept listening and hearing how they made a lot of balance changes to everybody. Change your heart very quickly. But that's just me. I would love to hear what you guys got to say about it. And I look forward to seeing some of y'all out there on the battlefield. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's video, man. I hope this was informative and it helped you guys out understand what's to come. And I look forward to catching you in the next one. Peace and hair grease.